Yes, yes, yes. What's going on, people? We are
Yeah,
back. This is
back at
Moodslingerz
it.
Magazine.
Back at it.
Yes, sir. We are here. This is part 2 of our exclusive interview with Dr. Mervin Jenkins,
What
Yeah,
up?
man. Let's get some
aka
hand claps in there with
Popular.
that. Yeah,
What up, yo?
yeah,
What
yeah,
up, man?
yeah,
What up? What up?
yeah, yeah.
God thunderclap. God thunderclap.
Yes,
God
sir.
thunderclap.
Yes, sir.
We don't do no bombs over here. Fuck that. Somebody already
Ah,
ruined that. I'm just kidding.
love it, love it.
We got to get to a trending topic too, because what the hell going on at Hot 97 nowadays? I don't know.
I don't even listen to radio, so I'm not even the one to even speak
Well,
on
I
it.
mean, hey, but you know,
Yeah,
it's just.
yeah.
But anyway, that's a whole other. But
That's a
anyway,
whole nother topic.
yes, a whole other topic. But anyway,
Mm.
so we were talking to Spec, and he was talking about him being an educator. Being a, you know, can I say world-renowned author? Can I say that?
Yeah, I think that's
It's
fine.
somewhere on yeah.
It's on Amazon, so
It's
yeah, you
around
can
the
get it.
world.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. If you and I must mention that. Please support support this man's books. It's available on Amazon. They was there.
Exactly.
Okay, it's 3 books. They would say the name of the
Two
3 books.
books. Two books.
Two of the books.
Two.
I'm sorry.
Yep. Before they leave here, while they're still with us, and to the Beat of Leadership, a story of high and low notes. Dr. Mervin
Right.
Jenkins.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now let's go into the music side
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's go down
because
this
he has
rabbit
a
hole.
lot. But here's the thing. This man has been recording for over 3 decades.
Long
Okay.
time, man.
You got a lot of albums. You know what I'm saying? He has a lot of albums. Like, mainly he has a lot of albums with his partner Amari, Spectac and Amari.
Yep.
If you are
Yep.
not familiar with that, that is on the Bandcamp, that is on the Spotify, that is on YouTube,
Yep. All streaming platforms,
all
man.
Yep.
streaming
Yep.
platforms. So you need to check that out. But let's start with your journey. Like, how did you get started on that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Going into like your first album and
You
onto the
know,
current project.
honestly, I'd have to like quickly go back to the demo days because I started rhyming in '83, man. I remember the year because the song that captured my imagination was "Sucker MC" by Run DMC. My dad had a little 5 watt radio in his garage where he worked out of, and it
Yo,
came on, and I was hooked ever since, man. So I started rhyming then, writing rhymes, but mostly freestyling. And then high school years came, and I hooked up with a good friend of mine, Rodney Wilson. And Rod and I are actually about to drop a project next week.
be on the lookout for the
Yep,
lost demos,
that's it.
Spectac
That's
Yes,
it.
sir.
That's it.
and
That's it.
Raw.
And
Yeah,
Rod.
that's it.
Shout
Yeah,
Shout
out
out.
to
Rod.
Rod, man. Shout out
Yeah,
to
no
that brother
doubt.
right there,
Yep,
man.
yep,
No
yep.
doubt.
Big
That
shout,
Rod.
man. This is
Nice
Rod.
project.
Yeah, this is
Yes.
Rodney's first official project, man. And Rodney's been doing this for a
Long time
long
coming.
time. Obviously, he's
Long
he's
time coming.
been he's been like in the shadows, which is how he likes to move, man. One of the craziest story, D, is when you and I hooked up in New York and we were doing songs together under the Renaissance with Van der Mater and Perp, Luck, Todd, all that whole crew. Big D from Queens, big shout, Big D. Um, Rodney,
Mhm.
all the songs you and I did, and this is like something that's going to blow a lot of minds, dude.
Yeah.
Because when I was in college, people love that Renaissance demo. Something in the milk ain't clean, good for the neighborhood, shine the spotlight, copycatter, and a couple more joints.
Classics.
Rodney Wilson was my ghostwriter. Rod wrote the first verse to every one of those songs. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hold
Couldn't
on.
believe it. When he told me, I couldn't believe it. I was like, yo.
Rodney Wilson wrote the first verse. Bye bye, baby. The spec is breaking out. It's time to move on. It's time I took another route.
Hold on.
Big up
That was
Rod.
Rodney.
Hold
Big
on.
up Rod. Big up
Dr.
Rod.
Divine, yo, you know we got the goods.
Hold on.
Wow.
Big
Because
Freddie
now, hold
Bob to
on.
the
Here's the thing.
Carolina
Yeah.
Wait.
First things
Let's
first, make
because
sure you're a soul controller. Yo, D, this company better push us like a stroller. Rodney Wilson, son.
hold on.
Rodney wrote the first verse for all of those songs, yo. and,
Yeah.
and he never told anybody.
Hold on,
Never
let's
told
hold on,
anybody.
but hold on, but
You were in the
because
studio.
we going way too fast. Let's take it all the way back first for the people who don't know, because there's a lot of people that don't know this. Okay, so let's take it back to where because you mentioned somebody. Shout out to Demond Pearson, DD. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? You can follow him at Demond P14 on Instagram. Now, I grew up with this man, right? Grew
Yep.
up with DD.
Yep.
It was like a crew of them, and there was this block called the Happy Block.
The happy block.
The
South Oak
Happy
Road.
Block, where they're like, why do they call it the Happy Block? Because we were in South Jamaica, Queens. South Jamaica, Queens is notorious for a lot of their hood stories at that time in the 90s. All right, like you can Google
Yep.
everything from the Fat Cat to Supreme Team
Team.
to
Yep.
50
Yep.
Cent's early days, right?
Mm-hmm.
This block here, you had a bunch of brothers that wasn't into none of the streets. Like one is a preacher in Augusta. Shouts out to my man Katori. One is another educator. Shouts out to Milton. Damon Didi, he works for a nonprofit organization. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And he does the same thing, mentors kids and all that kind of thing. So
Absolutely.
he comes to me. Now this is back in the 90s, 89,
Yep.
90. He comes back, he says, "Hey man, I know a dude, man, that can freestyle. He freestyles like KRS-One, Big Daddy K." Right? And I'm like, "Well, who is this guy?" And he just happens to be from this small little town called Utahville, South Carolina. I don't
That's
even
it.
know if you can just see it on the map or anything like that. So I says,
Nope.
well, I'm like, well, yo, so where is this guy? He says, well, look, he goes to school with me. You know what I'm saying? We're freshmen at Benedict. I'm going to bring him up through a summer break, and you can hear him, and y'all should take him to the studio. I hear this guy, and I'm just like, okay, let's go to the studio. That man is this brother right here.
There it
So
is.
we're doing our early demos in Dookie. Just like he said, the names of the
Yep.
song on that early Renaissance tape is "Something in the Milk Ain't Clean."
Yeah.
For old time's sake,
Woo.
we had done a collaboration called Copycatters
Yep.
and Shine the Spotlight. All
It's
right,
for the neighborhood.
goods for the neighborhood.
Ghetto
Okay.
honeys.
Yes.
Ghetto honeys.
Ghetto honeys. So
Mm.
we're shop. So now we do. And when I met Spec, it's like it's like I always knew him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he was freestyling, I was writing.
Mm-hmm.
I always I like freestyling. Just I had to write everything down before I
Get
put
it.
it down. So when you were doing those rhymes in that one take, it was just like, oh wow. So in our mind, it's like, yo, he freestyled the whole thing. He freestyles for real.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
because you have been in the room.
Yep.
We hand you the mic, and we point to whatever object that's in the
Yep.
room, and
Yep.
you will do a rhyme about it
Yep.
in
Yep.
real time.
Yep. Yep.
But that's the one thing I have learned. Just being around MCs, a lot of times they can be the dopest freestylers.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But when it comes to writing, it's like
Mhm.
it's that block. And, sometimes they need something or somebody to help them. You kind of get
Yeah.
over it, and then they can muster on through it or whatnot. But
Yep.
yeah,
Right.
sometimes that transition is it's a little difficult for them.
Yeah, not a
Okay.
lot of
So-
MCs master both sides of that. And when you freestyle for real, you know when cats are freestyling. Like some people will call it a freestyle, but I heard one of my mans use the term fritting. It's a freestyle, but it's also written. And you hear cats going between what's really a freestyle, then they might throw in 4 lines of a written, go back into a freestyle, back into a little written. But I've always just been, and that's why I like people to point things out, because I want them to know every line is really being made up in real time. So when I walk in the room and I tell you, yo, whatever's in the room, you grab it, and I'm rhyming about it. It's true freestyle. It's no I'm a
That's
thinking full
that's
bars.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So really, freestyle is become a stretch term.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
top of the dome is what I would
Mm-hmm.
consider,
Mm-hmm.
what you
Yes,
do,
right.
because
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I say
Absolutely.
you going off the dome. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just right there. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
yeah, that's
Okay.
an art that is not.
Yep. True indeed.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Let's go into where, okay, one of your first release projects, you got to work with an established, renowned producer
Yep.
from your neck of the woods. Tell us
Yep.
about that project you did with Ninth Wonder.
Oh man, now we're going like this is like early 2000s. So I was living in Durham, North Carolina at the time, and I was a high school assistant principal at Chapel Hill High School.
All right.
And
Right.
good buddy of mine, T. Roy, big shout out Troy. He kept telling me, "Hey man, I got a producer. You guys need to meet. I think your styles will complement." And I was just like, I got a lot of cats. I had you.
Right.
I could call up and get music from you. Purple
Right.
Luck, Chris, Amari, Shakim. So I was like,
Vanderman.
I'm good.
Right.
And he kept nagging me about it. And one day, without telling me, he picked me up, asked me to ride with him across town. We end up in Raleigh, these little rundown apartments, and we go inside, and he's like, "Yo, Ninth, this is Spec Ninth." So in the back of my head, I'm like, "Oh man, you got me, dude. I didn't even want to meet anybody, and here we are." So Ninth starts playing his beats on a CD, and I'll never forget, man. Like he was playing the beats, and I'm like mesmerized, man, like how good this stuff is sounding. And I guess he took it as I wasn't feeling his tracks. And finally, after about the fifth beat, because mind you, he's playing like a different beat every 30, 45 seconds, he's changing it up. And
Right.
around the fifth one, I just told him to stop. And I'm like, yo, man, my exact words, I remember like yesterday, I said to him, "You're the nicest producer since Pete Rock, as far as I'm concerned." And he just kind of laughed and went, "Oh man, nah, man." I said, "Nah, real talk. I'm about to do you a solid, kid." I ran outside real quick. Um, Dee Dee's ex Leote was working at Capitol Records at the time. I think she was like a VP at Capitol or something. I
Wow.
called up Leote. I called up my man who was managing and producing, executive producer on my project then, JD. And Leote was like,
That's
"Yeah,
out to JD.
yep." Shout out to JD, principals of entertainment. But I sent the project to Leote. I never heard back from Lee. JD drove up, and Jay had the same reaction I had. He was like, "Yeah, this is something different."
Mm-hmm.
So they meet, and about, I don't know, 3 weeks, a month later, JD calls me up one day. I'm on my way to Myrtle Beach to see my girlfriend at the time, and Jay's like, "Yo, you wanna fly up to New York with me and Ninth?" And I was like, "What y'all going to do?" He's like, "We're going to meet Jay-Z." And I just kind of laughed to myself. I'm like, "Yeah, right." I said, "Nah, man, I'm going to Myrtle Beach to see my girl." And literally the next day, they call me, and JD's like, "Hey, Spec, Ninth is on Jay-Z's next album, the Black Album."
The Black Album.
Yeah.
And the rest was history, kid. The
Right,
rest was history.
right. That's crazy.
The rest
That
was history.
project, that project, Spectac and Ninth Wonder, that is available on YouTube. So
Absolutely.
if
Absolutely.
you are curious about what that project sound like, you can just go there right now and listen to that.
And keep in mind, we're talking, this is from 2003, I
Okay.
guess,
Right.
you know. So it's been a long time, but I can still put that project on and just let it play, man. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah, Ninth,
right.
definitely something special. And obviously, not long after, most people in the hip hop world and culture got a chance to witness and see what I saw.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Okay.
That's dope.
Your next, how did you hook up with your man Amiri? To do Spectac and Amiri, the current series of dope, you know what I'm saying, dopeness.
Amari and I met in college. Around the same time I met Wise. Like we were all in college, man. Between South Carolina State, Benedict, and USC, everybody was just sort of connecting. And one night, Amari and I were at a party, and I think we ended up just sitting in the car. Once again, he threw
Listen to the
on
beats. Yeah.
the beats. The beats started playing, and I was like, "Yo, let's rock." And we've been spitting out demos and projects ever since, man. So once again, we're talking 30 plus years now.
Plus years,
And the crazy thing about Amari, first time I saw Amari, he was opening up for I want to say Naughty by Nature at South Carolina State
Homecoming.
and I'm watching this guy on stage, and literally I'm like, not the dopest MC, but those beats are banging. and I wanted to say something after the show, but I was so nervous, yo. I remember Amari, and he had his DJ, the scientist at the time. They were loading up the van to leave, and I just stood in the parking lot watching them load the van up, wanting to run over and say something, but was too afraid to even approach them. So I watched them literally load the van, hop in, and take off. And I was like, well, I guess I won't see him again. And lo and behold, we both end up being in
At
Columbia
this party, yeah.
during the college years, and that's how we connected, man. So when I told him that story, he was on the floor laughing, man. It was crazy.
We gotta give a thunderclap for DJ Scientist, who happens
No
to
doubt.
be the Yin Yang Twins tour DJ.
Tour DJ, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For those who don't know,
Yeah,
and
that show was really amazing because a few things happened that night. One, Scientists got picked up by Naughty by Nature to do a remix to one of their singles. So like literally,
never knew that.
yep, Scientists did a remix for one of the Naughty by Nature records. And also that night, my little cousin Malik, who if you know the rap game,
Malik,
Yeah.
Malik is one half of the group Illegal.
yep,
Jamal.
Illegal. They used to come out back in the day.
yep,
If you remember
Yeah.
the group Illegal,
Malik and Jamal, yep,
Jamal.
Malik and
Malik and
Jamal.
Jamal.
Well, he got pulled on stage that night because Tretch saw him in the audience going like word for word
yeah,
with
his verse,
one of his songs.
Yeah.
Right.
And Tretch was so impressed by it because, mind you, Malik's probably 12 years old at the time, shouldn't have even
Right.
been in the building, but there he was, and Tretch ended up pulling him up on stage and have him like literally take over his verse and do it. And I don't know, not long after that, Tretch flew him to New Jersey to live with him and actually started working on the project. But that turned into a whole lot of other stuff. Malik went on to work with Dallas Austin and Monica in Atlanta off the THRU with
Oh man.
with Snoop Dogg and Suge and those guys. He was on Snoop's first album. Like, he really had a good
Yeah, he
run.
had a little run, yeah.
Yes,
but
he had a very
but the
impressive
crazy
one.
thing is, when he was 10, and my little sister, Carolina, big shout out, Flower MC, when they were 10 years old.
Thunderclap
I
real
would-
quick for Carolina.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But when they were 10 years old, that was the routine. I would pick up Malik on Saturdays, bring him back to the crib, and Malik, me and my sister would just sit at the table, and I would ghostwrite for the both of them. So I'd be writing rhymes for the both of them that they end up going back to school and basketball Friday night while the game's going on, halftime.
Right.
I go off to battle some MCs, and as I'm freestyling and rhyming, I just kind of throw the hands in the air like, you know what? I'm going to let the little folks take care of this. And then my sister Malik would step up and just rip it, Rip it.
They was all a part of now, let's not forget they was all a part of a group of us. We have to shout out Geechee Rob. We have to shout out your cousins.
Yep.
Shrimp and
Because-
Spence.
The
Yep.
Super Spence, the Pathfinders,
Yep.
and we were all collectively named the Shadowrunners.
Mm-hmm.
We had a whole full page No, it wasn't the full page, but we had an article right up in the source. I forget what year that was. It was like
Yep.
90, but it was the source with Redman and
Yep.
Method Man on the cover.
On the cover. That's
We were
right.
all in that picture. I just found
Yep.
that picture. I have to post it. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? I just found it
Yep.
in my thing,
Yep.
and you know,
Yeah. Shout out to the Shadowrunners,
the
man. I
Shadow
mean,
Runner. Oh
I,
man, the
I,
Shadow Runners
I,
was
Let's
an entire
I couldn't even
movement.
name
Shout
let's
out
all
to
the
see.
groups, but
Rob and
Let's
all
see.
of them.
we
Yeah.
had Guns for Sale,
Right.
Write a Rhyme and Kick a Verse. We had the Ruffians. We had the Soul Out Bums. We had
Yes.
Renaissance. We had
Get off the Vern Large.
Max
Burn
Bomb.
Soul Out Bums. Yep.
Sold
Sold
out
out
Soul Out
bombs.
bums.
Bums.
Yes.
Um, um,
Max
DJ
Bomb.
Shakim was in the mix with that.
DJ.
Red
Okay, we
Rum.
go. Yeah,
You know.
we definitely gonna get to him.
Yep.
Matter of
Yep.
fact, we're gonna. Matter of fact, let's just go into it. The projects. Well, no. Before we do that,
Yep.
hold on. Yes, let's go into no. Okay, let's just go ahead and go into it. The
Mhm.
project that you did with DJ Shakim. God thunderclap for DJ Shakim. If you're not familiar who he is the tour DJ for New Edition. And
Yes.
Shakim.
anybody
And
from
Bell
South
Biv DeVoe.
Carolina State, you
And
know
Mhm.
what I'm saying,
DBV.
to the
Yep.
ATL,
Yep.
he was a part of a group in ATL called the Super
DVD.
Friends. That's a whole other story we have to go into.
Yep.
But tell
Yep.
us about the projects you did with DJ Shakim, who is my personal mentor. Fun
Yeah, man.
fact.
Yep.
When I got into the little DJ, when I got into the DJ game, I was trying to show my little skills. He gave me my first mixer.
Mhm. Mhm.
My first, because I didn't have, I just, I couldn't even call myself a DJ. You can't call yourself a DJ till you have a certain turntables and a mixer. That man was
Yep.
responsible to give me my first mixer. But go ahead,
Yep.
Spec.
Nah, man. Shakim and I, we definitely going back to those days. As a matter of fact, Shakim and I opened up for Jay-Z when he came to Fisk University for homecoming.
No,
Shaw
wow,
and I opened up, and that's when Jay-Z was rolling with Foxy. Ain't No Nigga was the big hit song, so
wow.
Foxy would come out. But me and Shaw opened up that show, and my crazy moment from that show was I got on stage freestyling, and I once the crowd realized I was literally rapping about people in the audience, they started going bananas to the point that Jay actually came out to see what was going on, and he peeked around the corner from the curtains. So
Mm-hmm.
as Jay's looking at the stage, I'm on stage rhyming. I see Jay looking. So what are my next words? I flipped the old LL Cool J. I'ma deliver and bring a speech with figure, and I point at Jay. Mind you, half of the audience can see him because the other half, he got the curtains pulled so they can't see him, but one half can. So as he's looking, I literally in the freestyle go, I'ma deliver and I'm saying rhyme with figure, and then I point and I say, pass the wine cooler, you big, and man, the crowd went nuts. And Jay had that look like, I'm going to see you when you come backstage. And he just walked off. And I didn't even go backstage after the show. I was so scared. But Shakim knew some of the guys from New York. And he went back and kind of gave them the whole, yo, man, it was a freestyle. He's just coming off the top of the head, like whatever he sees, da da da. And I guess he pieced it up, but I wasn't going to go backstage to find out. I just kind of like blended
Spec
in the
had.
audience and called it a night.
You mean to tell me Spec had beef with Jay-Z before Nas?
Man, if you want to call it that, but it was just one of those young, dumb,
That's
and
hilarious,
But
yo.
yeah, man.
Now,
That's
that's the first time I
crazy.
heard that story.
So that's how far Shakim and I go back. But yeah, after I moved to Atlanta, man, obviously we reconnected. In the sense
It's
of,
amazing to hear that you even opened up for Jay-Z.
oh yeah, man, I was in college there, man. But
Damn.
Shaw and I reconnected, and we did the For the People project, man, which
Yeah, For
ended
the
up
People
being a
is
dope
dope.
project. And
Very dope.
Yes.
Very dope project.
yeah, we did it out of love, man.
Yeah.
It happened fast. We put it out, got some good buzz on it. It was cool times, man.
That's what's
Shameless
up.
plug. Like I was honored to be a feature on your projects,
Mhm.
particularly So Beautiful, So
Mhm.
Beautiful. I was so glad to be a part of that project, and the Natural Woman joint. That was like You know what I'm
That was
saying?
classic D.Divine, son.
Yeah.
Fine.
It's a renaissance.
We
Yeah.
were,
Yes.
we were talking about you when Wise was at the crib a couple of days ago, man. We were like, yo, D was probably one of the most slept on MCs in the clique, because,
Yeah.
dude,
Yeah.
I can listen to your music now, and I'm just like, yo, this dude was saying this 25, 30 years ago. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
how
see,
Yeah.
crazy is this?
well, see,
Producer
here's the
as
thing.
well.
Well, see, here's the thing. When I was on my journey of becoming an MC, when we were doing beats with my two compadres, shout out to Big Win, shout out to Vandemation.
Vanimator.
You know what
Vanimator.
I'm saying? We was in the people don't understand the company that we was in. Van grew up with the large professor.
Yep.
Winston grew up in Long Island. He went to Five Towns College, where you had Pasta Noose, where you had
Yep.
Prince
Lucky.
Paul.
Yep.
He
Yep.
was a dancer for EPMD.
Yep.
He's now like the road manager for Lord Finesse.
Yep.
He was a road manager for Lord Finesse, and DJ Natasha Diggs, if anybody's
Mm-hmm.
familiar with that. So, okay, but going back to the 90s, we were in the company and there was a secret competition amongst the producers, not like who was going to have the bangingest album for the summer. Back in the
Yep.
90s, we're going to talk about this. Me and Chris are going to talk about this when we rate the new album
Yep.
Nas premiere. Y'all make sure y'all tune into that episode. But
No doubt.
there was this thing where there was the pressure back then was to have the most bangingest album. You had the most bangingest album if it was hitting on the radio, if it was
Mm-hmm.
hitting in the clubs, and if it was
Mm-hmm.
hitting in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is why the 90s was so dope, because if you didn't have an album to fit that criteria,
Yep.
your shit was yo. Not to say that your shit was considered whack, but you
Yep.
definitely wasn't popping.
Yep.
Yeah. And we
Yep.
talked about that
You
too this past
can have
weekend.
an album
You know,
that's
even
that's like banging, but if it wasn't banging on radio, it wasn't banging on the streets,
Yep.
and it wasn't banging in the clubs. It's like
Yeah.
you didn't have an album.
yeah.
You know, man,
But the competition made the music better.
nah, for sure.
Exactly. So you
Yeah.
got to think we're in the company of Large Professor, Pete Rock, Q-Tip, Beat Miners,
Yep.
DJ Premier, Lord Finesse.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And these
You know,
guys, huh?
one of my favorite stories is when I was up there working with you on the project. It was one evening that we had already breaking away from the studio for the evening, and I was over at Dee Dee's, and I decided to walk back. I guess I was heading either to the studio or I was going over to Troy when he was living with his grandmother
Shout
around
out to
the
Troy
corner.
Madden.
Yep,
Day
yep,
one.
good shout. And I'm walking down the street. It's nighttime. You know, I'm a little kid from South Carolina, and I'm coming up on a group of guys. Like, I don't know, man. It looked like it was 20 guys just gathered around the corner. And I had to walk through these guys. So at first, I'm like, yo, son, you should just cross the street and, like, not even interact. And then I'm like, nah, that's going to look crazy. So I'm going to just drop my head and walk through these guys. And as I'm walking closer, I hear music playing from the car that they were all standing around. And then I hear a voice go, yo, that's him right there. And when I hear that, I realize they're listening to one of the songs we had just recorded at Dookie's. So my head is still
Wow.
down, and I'm trying to get through the crowd, still scared as hell. And one guy goes, yo, son, your shit is dope. And he extends his hand, and I give him a pound, still not looking. Finally, when I got his hand, I look up, and it's Paulie. It's the large professor.
Get
So
the
I'm
fuck
like,
out of here.
I'm like, yo. I said, man, I've been a fan of your music since Watch Roger do his thing.
Right.
And he kind of chuckled and he said, nah, God, it ain't a fan of the music. Dope MCs. No, he said, real recognize real. That's all. He said, your joint is dope, son. I said, man, I appreciate it. And he was like, you can use a mix down on it though. And man, I was like so like fired up. I took off running down the block to the payphone. I must have called all my cousins back in South Carolina, like, yo, Lost Professor just told me the demo was dope, da da da. But that's what you
Yo,
guys saw all the time, man, all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
right. I definitely want to shout out before I would be remiss if we didn't shout out. If we didn't shout out Todd, the Dookie man himself, he's the one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If it wasn't
Todd.
for him,
Big time.
having his studio in his basement, we
Yep.
wouldn't have all these memories. Like there's so many people,
Nah,
there's so many
nah.
Yeah.
people that's connected to that studio.
Yeah.
We had to talk with Luck and Hostile Rhymes. They're coming out with a project. You know, they was one of the people to work out of Dookie Studios, and it was and we were mentioning all the people that worked through there who came through. We was mentioning like like I said, Large Professor. We
Yep.
was mentioning Terminator X. Uh, that Erica Badu's song "Next Lifetime" got tracked out of Dookie Studios.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Tone.
Um,
Yep.
uh,
Tone the backbone.
Tone.
Tone the Back, yes. Shout out to Tone the Backbone. One of the Wu Tang DJs, Mathematics. He had tracked the project out of there. Uh, um, Rest in peace to Lamont. He had the group called the Hood Rats. He tracked the project out of there.
Yep.
And Who was Terminator X's? Terminator X had tracked the project out of there. Then he had a group called the I forget the name of the group, but
Mm-hmm.
there was like a compilation album that Terminator X did way back in the day. He
Yep.
tracked that album out of Dookie Studios.
Yep. 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 So yeah, man. I mean, dude, man. But you were living in that D. So for me,
Yeah,
it was like special appearances, man. Like, but
right.
so much happened, man. Like, I mean, I got to break bread with Biz Markie, Father MC, Fife Dog from Tribe Called Quest. You know, that's
Oh
a story
yes,
for
yes,
another
yes. Rest
day.
in peace.
You
Yeah.
know, but Fife had the demo for a minute and was literally trying to shop it for a deal around the time he got Fu Snickens signed to their
Yep.
deal. So
Yes,
Yep.
yes, yes.
but all of that happened being in that universe and in that environment with you guys, and I was just a special guest. Like literally, as you said on Shine the Spotlight, we got a special guest. I was coming up from the Carolinas and just in the mix, man, in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
We have to put that demo shine the spotlight on YouTube because like one thing about those demos, I gotta get on Dave Black. It's like we gotta upload that so just people can hear the type of vibe that we was on. Because the only thing that's on
Mm,
the only thing that's
I
on
just.
YouTube
mm,
right now.
mm,
Only thing that's on YouTube right now is Renaissance. You know, the Twisted Cap and the
mm-hmm,
Flies in the Attic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I
mm-hmm.
did that with
But
my
that's a whole. Yeah, that's a whole story too.
yeah,
But
yeah, yes.
yeah, I just laughed because you said had to get on Dave Black.
Right.
Oh Dave, oh Dave.
That's Dave.
Shout
That's my
out to
man,
Dave,
for
man.
boy.
We love you, man.
Yeah.
But it's been said for the longest time that he got all the music.
He got all the music.
He's
He's
like
got
the
all of it.
last person that
Yeah.
has all of our music from
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah.
When Dave and Wise came through the other night, Dave was playing stuff that I forgot I
You
had
forgot
recorded,
about.
man. I
Yeah.
was just like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, he got a collection, son. You know,
Yeah.
and Dave's a white boy with the last name Black, so
Oh man. Oh man.
Dave Black
Yes, sir.
Not to mention he is a production guru. You got to check out
for sure,
a lot of. He got some projects coming out too that you got to
for
check
sure,
out. Dave
for
Black
sure.
is definitely,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
Mr.
yeah.
saying.
Dash.
Dave played some joints. He got some heaters,
Mr.
man.
Dash.
Oh
Mr.
yeah.
Dash. Mr.
Mm-hmm.
Dash.
Mr.
Yeah.
Dash, I cannot wait to come out of retirement. Like goddamn it, I'm coming out like Mike Tyson.
Nah, for real, son. For real, man, for real. But nah, D, that was. I mean that Renaissance era is just something I hope I never forget, man. Like that's when things were just everything was on the edge. It felt like a record deal was around every corner. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
if we knew what
But it was
if I
just,
knew
man,
what we
the
knew
hunger.
now, if I
Yeah.
knew what we knew now, I would have took that approach really I would have at least tried
yeah,
to like like back in the day Todd had pressed up a record for one of his artists, you know what I'm saying, called Day Lover, and they had shot a video over in 150th Park, and that Baisley 150th Park and everything.
yep,
And that was the actual route to go, even though we
mm-hmm,
didn't have the money to per se
mm-hmm,
um, probably fund it and promote it. Now we're finding out that that's one of the better routes to go because we were trying to hold out to get a labor deal. You know,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Yeah.
we were shopping the demos. For those who don't know, we had shopped the demo to Wild Pitch,
yep,
we had shopped to demo to Fresh Records, which was Jay-Z's. No, excuse me, not Fresh Records. Freeze Records. Excuse me. Freeze Records. This is what I found. Now, Freeze Records was Jay-Z's first label. Freeze Records was a reinvention of Fresh Records. I never knew that. You know, like for whatever reason, Fresh Records like kind of like disappeared.
Yeah.
It became Freeze.
Yeah.
And we was actually offered a single deal back in the day. We was offered a single deal. Me and Spec was offered a single deal to be on a compilation.
Yeah.
And because of the terms, you know, it was a lot of miscommunication because of the terms. We didn't do the we didn't do the single. The single that they wanted was Shine the Spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just like, nah, man, we gotta get an album, man. We gotta get like $1 million. We gotta get like $1 million, because that was the kind of money they was getting back in the day. These major labels, major labels was giving out a lot of big money, and you know, we felt like we was confident enough to get those kind of deals. But you know,
the project was solid enough to do that.
Right.
It's just that, you know, the certain doors wasn't open. You know
it's just a lot of gatekeeping and bullshitting, and then life is lifing. You know,
that's the game. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you went on and you started your journey in becoming an educator, which is probably, you know, one of the better things. That was God dealing you the cards to you, and it came out better because one of the things was, you know, because the salary that you you live a lot better than a lot of these rappers.
Thank you. That's what I was about to say. Yeah. A lot of these rappers ain't living like my brother's living. So
I mean, like, yo, like, listen, I gotta hold on. I gotta mention this one thing.
Hold on, D. Because you talk all the time. Shut up.
Okay. No, I just don't want to go ahead.
No, the beauty of it is he's still using music and his love for music to fund, you know what I'm saying, his lifestyle. You know what I mean? Right. So even though it didn't transition the way that we thought it would happen, it still happened.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So that's the beauty of it all.
That's true.
I mean?
Right.
That's true.
Yeah. Only thing I wanted to say was Spec's Crib is so dope. He had a whole goddamn segment on HGTV. him and wifey Siobhan. Shout out.
Exactly.
So if you want to see that man's living, check out that episode.
Island life, yo. Island life.
Yeah.
Island life.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on the island, man. That's where we're at. John's Island, South
Carolina. Right here on the island, y'all. Check that out.
Right outside of Charleston, man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Beautiful. Shout out John's
some Martha's Vineyard type shit.
Shout out Chiffon.
Yes, shout out to Rod. Shout out to wifey. What's good?
Big shout, for sure. Yeah, man. But yeah, man. I mean, just good times, man. And you know, the note I'll end on is being able to actually watch our son, like literally all these years later, navigate the game and get the major record deal. You know, so back in 2018, he hooked up with Young Thug, and Young Thug got him signed over at 300 Entertainment. And everything kind of rolled.
Universal, right? Isn't it?
Yep.
Tell us about the artist Strick.
Yeah, man. Strick. Well, obviously we call him Torn, but our son Strick, he put out several projects that were like compilation style with Young Thug and that whole slime and slime. Like a lot of those projects he's featured on. And then eventually he got his solo release. Ended up doing, once again, big shout out to Leote. She was able to do a publishing deal with him through Red Bull. I didn't even know Red Bull had a music department, but they do. So he did that publishing deal. And then it was Koch, I believe, that he did the second publishing deal with, and you know, he does it full time, man, and hats off to him, you know, because I gave him a hard time when he came to me and said he was going to leave his job to do music full time, and it worked out for him, you know. His first his first project was Risk Equals Reward, and I had to eat that one because he took the risk and he got the reward, you know. So it was pretty much a nice moment when he had his signing party. He had two. He had one out in L.A., but then he did one here with the family and friends, and a lot of the cats that I came up doing music with, Flavor MCs, Pathfinder, Langston Hughes, those guys from Charleston, Geechee Rob, like there was people who represented every era of music that I was in who actually showed up just to show love, man. And I had to pull them to the side and say, hey, man, look around this room because everybody's standing in here tonight. And we had like over 100 people at the crib, man. I said, wow. Everybody here tonight was trying to do what you just
you're doing. Exactly.
Damn.
So right. Don't take it for granted. You know, we had that conversation, man. But yeah, he ended up doing a nice tour with Kid Cudi, and you know, he's gotten some love with the project, man. So shouts out to Strick, and continue blessings.
Shout out Strick.
Yeah, as he navigates those waters, man.
No doubt.
All right, man. Yo, like, yeah, we did it again. We didn't hit the we didn't hit the time limit.
And we still ain't scratched the surface on a lot.
And we still is a lot more we can go on to. Yeah, but I guess what we have to do, I guess we're gonna have to do that thing where we're gonna have to like do a stream on Twitch or something like that.
Nah,
sure, we can just have to get this the raw stuff on Patreon.
You're right. Yeah. Once again, man, I'm so glad that we was able to get this interview in, man.
Yes.
You know? Hey, man, look,
Thank
man.
you for giving us the time, brother. Yeah,
oh, man, look, man, I want to tell y'all that anytime I see anybody, but specifically you guys, because y'all family, man, like putting out a platform that's allowing these stories to be heard by people who would have never heard them. Folks that have followed us for years and don't know these stories, and people that are brand new and listening who never heard of any one of those artists that we've been shouting out all night. This is a huge opportunity. So thank you guys for just making that platform possible. And of course, I'm gonna make time for it, man. So thank you. Hats off for sure.
Yes. So we're gonna definitely this ain't the first of the last. We're gonna definitely get you back in here. You know what I'm saying? We could do that. Hopefully we could do what I would like to do. I would like to do like a Shadowrunners reunion, just like you said.
Yeah. That would be crazy.
Yeah.
And we got to put and here's the thing. Like you were saying in the last interview, you were saying that we have to put a lot of these memories. We just have to record it and put them on file and stuff like that because like our demos, like me, I don't even have a copy of a lot of the stuff that I recorded. So a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't know I ride.
Same
here. People don't know I did beats.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to embark on this journey with. A lot of people don't know I DJ. for real. So I'm embarking on this journey with the podcast, and I'm standing on it because at least this is something that can be archived. This is something that where we can tell our story, and we promote all of our friends and even more people that's talented that need to be on these platforms because all this gatekeeping shit they got going on.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like we're trying to open the floodgate. Fuck the gatekeeper.
And like real talk, more importantly, man, like creating a space where even the younger generation. So you got Y's son Micah that's doing his thing now, incredibly talented MC. Like even opening doors so that those guys and girls can come through and like build off of the foundation that you guys have laid. This is going to be monumental, man. So just keep doing what you're doing and know that folks are listening, man. Folks are listening, and it's making a difference, yo. Somebody's hearing something that's inspiring them to take that next step at doing whatever it is they got planned to accomplish in this life, man. It's a short run, y'all, so let's make it count.
That's the purpose. That's the cause, brother. You know what I mean?
All right, man.
That's what we do. Yep.
All right, man. So we're gonna get on out of here. This has been another
Dope edition.
episode, another great episode of Moodslingerz Magazine.
Yes,
Boom.
Thank
yes,
you
yes.
for thanks everybody for tuning in. Make sure you log into moodslingers.com. You know what I'm saying? Our
Yes.
24-hour radio station, new music by artists, events showcasing these artists, and the podcast.
No
Woo.
doubt.
Thank
No doubt. No doubt.
you. Yes, sir. This is D.Divine.
Wise nine. And my
Yes,
man,
we are out. Thank
Spectac.
you, Dr. Mervin Jenkins,
Yes,
Spectac
sir. Yes, sir.
Spectacular.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.